Summer is fast approaching, and I think it's time we took a little bit of stress out of our lives, isn't it? With HelloFresh UK, you can get all the ingredients and inspiration you need to make your meal times and your cooking experience simpler than ever. HelloFresh provides a number of recipes and meals to make your life as easy as possible and also caters to a wide range of different dietary requirements. Use my special discount to get 50% off your first order plus 35% off the next three and 3 free gifts as well. What more could you ask for? Check out the discount link or the checkout code down in the description below. Well, there's only one question that needs answering as we return for this episode. Can we avoid embarrassment as England manager? We've got our final 2 European qualifying games. We're already through to the Euros, but will Bosnia beat us to top spot in the group? Yes, hello and welcome along to part 104 of the Head Coach with me, Daniel. It is our final 2 qualifiers for the Euros today as we face Cyprus at home in what is a bit of a banker and then Bosnia away in the battle for top spot. Of course, you can probably hear the English media now absolutely slating me for the fact that we've not secured top spot and that Bosnia might pip us to the post. But before that, we've got to look at a very interesting manager appointment because it's right in front of us now. Cyprus are being managed by Unai Emery. That's a very FM style appointment, isn't it? If you're looking forward to this one though and seeing if we can avoid that media backlash, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Of course, we haven't had any games since you were last here because it was that draw in Ukraine that's made this episode so important. But once we get through here, it will be a big run at the Euros and then probably moving back to club football. So let's go and see how we get on with that. We've got some interesting squad news to talk about as well. We go and have a look at the team we've picked here. We've had a couple of changes due to injuries and due to tactical tweaks as well. So it does mean that, for example, Jordan Ramsey showing a real lack of depth here. Go back to when I was growing up. England had 1,000 centre-halves and everywhere else they were a bit light in terms of depth. Now it's the opposite. The centre-halves are average. And Jordan Ramsey, a backup player at Spurs, is now one of our options. I mean, he's 6'6", he's great in the air, there's some positives, but he's got 1 cap and he's not a great player. I'd probably not expect to get in the top 6 of the Premier League if he was a starter for me. But he is at the Champions in England, he is doing all right, and he's still a decent squad player, so maybe he'll be able to deliver. What I really need is this Tally to develop a bit further. He's at Leipzig now, he's getting regular football, and I hope he's able to improve because we're going to rely on a centre-half to make it. And at the moment, it's not looking likely. This squad is pretty good. We've got Bellingham in. We've got Saka in. That experience is still there. Chris Lewis is now possibly, arguably the best striker. He's not playing that well for Crystal Palace, which makes it tricky. And a lot of the older boys are really declining. Tino Livramento is the only other 30-something that survived alongside Alfie Devine. We go through to the B team. I mean, a lot of the ones that we've either used or have dropped out of the squad are really declining. So the 2 main ones, I guess, that are a bit younger are Harvey Elliott, who is still a good player, but he's not played well for us when he's played that often. And he's not playing as regularly now for Liverpool. You can see he's about half starting, half sub. And it's just a bit of a weird one because he is versatile, he is very good, but he's not delivering enough for me. And that's something we've got to keep an eye on. But when we get to the big tournament, will we go back to him? Quite possibly. Jabari Roberts is out injured. Cole Palmer, again, a slightly different issue for him. He's playing regularly and playing really well for Spurs, but he just doesn't really fit in the way we want to play with England. He doesn't play that well as the number 10. Off the right, he cuts in, which we don't really like. Likes to run with the ball down the left, but isn't quick enough now to do that regularly. So it's probably him or Saka for the Euros, and Saka's been a better performer for me. I am, of course, keeping an eye on a few other players who are close to the squad or who are in good form. Daniel Williams, again, not started a game for Bayern Munich yet in any of the competitions this year. I can't justify him being in a squad, despite the fact he's played really well for us. Looking further down, we've got Solly Arson injured. We're basically picking between the strikers, but Ant Farley not really playing for Spurs. Anthony Malloy, playing but not scoring masses for Newcastle and not the best finisher. And Dane Scarlett at 31 is mainly a sub now for Chelsea, but he's scoring bundles of goals despite declining, so it makes it quite hard to judge. Got a few younger ones in there as well. David Nash, who's a young winger coming through, who can play up front. Lamar Smith, another option there as well. I'm looking at if Saka doesn't make it, if Cole Palmer, Harvey Elliott can't do it. Because don't forget, we've still got 7 months to go to the Euros. People are going to decline a bit more. We're still top of the world rankings in spite of our many slip-ups. But this is the state of play, having a look at the group stages. Because, where are the competitions? There they are. We are already through, as are Bosnia, to Euro 2036. But we have got a bit of a problem. Bosnia are top of the group. Now, if we win this one and draw against Bosnia, all is well, because we'll win the group. We've got the extra game. If we lose in Bosnia, we will not top the group, no matter what else happens. If we don't beat Cyprus today, we will have to beat Bosnia. A draw won't be enough. If we win today, though, as we would definitely expect to, we will then just need a draw away in Bosnia. So let's see if we can keep that unbeaten run going as we head into our first game against Cyprus. This one should be a bit of a formality. And again, we've got 3 days off after. So I'm going to make plenty of changes, try and keep people physically fit and protected. There's a few struggling a bit with morale at the minute. We'll be back in a minute to run through my chosen 11. Here we go then. As we get further into the domestic season, we have to consider match load and injury risk a lot more. So as a result of that, people who are returning from injury, not playing that much, need fitness, are in today. The rest of them are basically a backup team. No risks in goal today, no time for other goalkeepers. It is Elijah Smith between the sticks. Rio Williams is a more aggressive left back, but mainly as Keller has got a very heavy match load and Anthony Duffy isn't fit. He's the one who would have been in today. Livramento's over on the right. He's only played 29 minutes in the last 2 weeks, not a regular at all. Tally and Ramsey are at centre half again, struggling for players in there. Ocon and Bellingham in centre midfield. You remember Bellingham missed the last squad. He was out for injured for about 6 weeks, only just come back. Made 2 sub appearances in the last week, and he'll now step up his comeback at international level today. Ahead of them is the returning Adrian Smith, who's missed a few squads with injuries and other things. He's not very happy at Forest at the minute, but he's playing well, got great vision. Looks like the closest thing you're going to get to a Xavi or Iniesta at the lower end of the Premier League, so definitely not complaining about having him here. Ben Hames we know well on the right wing. Usman, who played number 10 last time against Andorra, is out on the left. That's because of Solly Arson being out and Williams covering at fullback. And then Chris Lewis is up front. Been average for his club this year, but been very good for the nation. Albeit he's played in games like South Korea in a friendly, Andorra in the qualifier. He still scored goals, and that's what we need. Let's go and get into the Cyprus game. It's got to be a comfortable win. Let's go and see if we can get it, and at the same time, take a bit of pressure off our final match. Well, here we go then. We have got most of the leagues loaded in Europe, as we've mentioned before, and most of Cyprus's squad is real as a result of that. Let's go and get through the dressing room. Let's tell the lads they should be winning, because quite frankly, I think they know that. And let's go and get into the first half. We want to be attacking, we want to be on the front foot, and we want to make sure there are no slip-ups here. I would expect a very comfortable win. I think the minimum of 3 or 4 would be acceptable. Not sure why we're not wearing white as the ball's into the back post, headed away as far as Ramsey, who has not played a minute under me. Don't think he's even been in a squad. He's not good enough to be in another, ideally. As Bellingham shoots from distance, that's over the bar. He's skipper in the side in the first half. Won't do more than 55, 60 minutes at a push. With 3 or 4 up, I'll take him off at half time. As Williams has a free kick. Good curling effort. Keeper makes the save, but only to Tally. And it looks like he was onside from the original shot because he has tapped it in for 1-0. The young centre-half, I'm sort of pinning my hopes on here. It is the big weakness in this England team. We've seen some silly goals we've let him through the middle. Our defence is nowhere near the level. And look who scored now. Jordan Ramsey, making his first appearance under me due to desperate injury circumstances and other players getting old. My word, is he doing the job. As Usman at the back post. The good thing is, with a couple of set pieces scored, we know we're probably going to win this one now. As here is Petropoulos, the goalkeeper. Got time to play it out. You can see we're staying higher up the pitch against them. And we're looking for that big kick, which we can head away and encounter. As Bellingham finds Livramento, the 2 elder statesmen of this starting 11. Down the right, he goes to Ben Hames. We know what he can do in this position. Goes in alone, a shot's at the keeper. He sort of defied me there. He probably should have laid that back for a tap-in. Got a little bit greedy and saw his name in lights, though. As Bellingham picks the ball up again to Usman. Curls left-footed, off the post. Brilliant effort, tipped away. And now it's cleared downfield. 15 gone, we are dominant. And it's all from set pieces. They're fouling us plenty. And look at Ramsey, he's on a hat-trick. 16 minutes gone. His first appearance under me. And he's already on a hat-trick. I mean, if they keep giving free kicks away, we're going to dominate eventually. We did point out the one great thing. He was 6'6" and he was great in the air. And he's proving it at the moment. 3-0, job done already. And we're back again with the ball in our left back area. But Rio Williams under no real pressure from the Cyprus attack. Livramento plays out to Ben Hames, has time to come downfield, looks for the big ball over to Chris Lewis, who's quicker than the defence. Has he got the finish though? It's a massive deflection. Oh, that's poor goalkeeping. I mean, I don't really know how to judge that goal from the animations we've seen, but big deflection over the keeper's head, didn't deal with it at all. And it's a tap in for Chris Lewis, who again gets his goal on the international stage as Adrian Smith, chance to cross to the back post, Lewis up, Tally up. Headed away as far as Hames. Chance to shoot just over the bar in the end. It stays 4-0. It's been a really comfortable first half performance. Cyprus not laid a glove. And it's what you would expect from this England team. But now we have to turn our attention to Bosnia. Can we get that draw in 3 days' time? Secure top spot? Because otherwise this is still an embarrassing campaign. We're going to say don't let complacency creep in. We're going to make changes with Bellingham, who's done what he needs to. He's got his fitness. He'll be replaced by Jonah Hodgkinson. Ocon will switch sides. We'll get through the dressing room. We'll get to the hour mark. And then we'll make a few more changes. Well, it's been a pretty quiet start to the second half. In fairness to Cyprus, maybe we've stepped off the gas, but they're making it a bit trickier for us. Adrian Smith is returning to fitness as well, so might have to have a look at him in terms of coming off. I'm also going to go for, I think Stansfield is going to come on at centre-half. He'll replace Tally. Livramento will stay on for now, or Willie. I'm going to go for, no, I'm going to bring Kelleher on. Kelleher will come on there. He'll play centre-half for now. We're also going to take off Adrian Smith for maybe Tezgel because he's got a goal in him. And then the other one is probably Henry Ocon. I don't know if I've got any more centre mids. I could put Ben Hames in there and put Klausdale out on the right. Seems the most logical thing to do. And that is going to be our team for the rest of this game. 4-0 against Cyprus, the job is done. And already, if I'm being honest, I'm now thinking about who am I going to play in certain positions against Bosnia? What way are we going to set up? Are we going to try and attack them like we are in this game? Or are we going to show them a bit more respect? Because they've been very good in qualifying. As we lose the ball here by the attacking corner flag, Ramsey was up there again as Stansfield finds Hodgkinson. Big sliding tackle, but he evades it. And he finds Williams on the left-hand side. Down the line to Usman. 2 or 3 in the middle. It's a good ball for Tezgel. I think Lewis was offside, but he wasn't the man to finish it. And Emre Tezgel, say what you want about him at club level. He's done all right. He's scored 4 or 5 again so far this season. He's a 1 in 2, 1 in 3 striker there. Here, albeit against poor opposition a lot of the time, he's doing very well. But he has scored goals in the big games too. As Hames gets it wide to Klausdale and Tezgel holds the ball up for Stansfield. Might be an option to play him in that 10 with Lewis ahead if we get to the summer. We've got aging midfielders. We've mentioned the problem with Palmer, Elliott, Saka, etc. Is that an option for us to play Tezgel behind Lewis as Klausdale's in? 6-0 to England. Very good finish, very good run. And a lovely ball from Hodgkinson too. This has been a really good day. But as we saw in the last episode, these games are always going to be easy. It's what you do away at the decent teams that defines you. We're in for 7 there. It's a penalty kick given. I thought he'd gone the other way. Who's going to take it? Ramsey's up. Oh, he's on a hat-trick. The centre-half puts it in the bottom corner. It is 7-0. Jordan Ramsey scores a hat-trick, and I'm probably going to have to keep him in the squad now, aren't I? He's such a threat in the air. He scored a penalty kick. And hey, that might be important next summer as well. As Tezgel gets the ball back to Kelleher. 5 minutes to go. Carries the ball forward to Rio Williams. Over halfway he goes. Has support. Finds Usman. He's had a good game out on the left as well, turning into a very versatile squad player. As Hodgkinson into Hames, finds Tezgel, running off him is Lewis, as is Hames, in he goes, Ben Hames slots it in. 1 goal for him, 8 for England, and it's lovely to see some of our former Palace players contributing. A really good signing. I think he was the biggest one under Dougie Freedman, wasn't he? And he really has delivered as Stansfield gives it away. He's the only one who's not really impressed since coming on, but most of our attacks have been down this left-hand side as Rio Williams picks it up again. Finds Kelleher and Hodgkinson. How does Kelleher keep getting booked in these games? There's not been a threat on our goal, no shots. he arguing with the officials? Is he just pulling people back, doing something silly? I don't know. As Hodgkinson chips in, Lewis on the volley. Oh, that was a pretty nice finish, wasn't it? On the volley, off the underside of the bar, and a big knee slide to come with it. 9-0 to England. Just too late, I think, for double figures. But 40 shots on goal, 20 shots on target, and a very comfortable win. Now we've got to do the hard bit. We struggled in Ukraine. Will we do any better this time? Well, here we go then. We might have won very convincingly 3 nights ago, but that stands for nothing at the moment. We go to Bosnia in our final group game, and if we want to avoid the hatred and the onslaught from the English media, we are going to have to get at least a point here to top this group. And even then, we'll probably still get some complaints. So this is the team that we've picked. Incidentally, I didn't mention that Ben Hames goal in the last game was his first for the country. So really good to see him get off the mark. For this team, the 11 is pretty much as you would expect. You can probably name it when everyone's fit. The only big decision really was to go for Develay at centre-half rather than Tally, but again, that was very close. The only other viable option was I could have gone for Stansfield at centre-half and put Livramento right back, but I wanted the extra height and physicality for this one. The rest of the team you'd probably guess. Smith and Bellingham keep their places. I think everyone else comes into the team. So we've got Smith in goal, Kelleher and Stansfield the fullbacks with Develay and Parsons at centre-half, Bellingham and Hodgkinson the midfield too. We'll try and get Bellingham at least an hour today. Clousdale and Saka on the wings. Saka still declining a bit. And then Devine behind Tezgel, who scored off the bench on Thursday up front. A point needed away in Bosnia to get ourselves top spot. But the English media will be on us unless we get all 3. Let's go and see if we can do it. Well, 4 changes from their last game. But don't forget, they haven't yet played in a qualifying game in this international break. They were already 1 ahead. So let's go and get through the dressing room. Come on, we're on a good run. Keep it going. We're going positive rather than attacking when we're away to these sides who are better. And you can see that it's a pretty big full house. There's a good team out. They're playing a solid 4-3-3. It's not like they're throwing everyone behind the ball. So let's see how we get on in the first half. We should be able to get on the front foot, push forward a little bit more. But Bosnia are the team with the attacking throw early doors as they've got it at the back with Kanaric. Down the left-hand side, they're trying to work here. They have plenty of support up front, but they're still trying to keep it simple for now. They've got the one experienced man at centre-half on the ball there. That's Sheffield United in real life. And he's still keeping things together. Going well at what would have been, 35 now? Carries the ball forward. Big one over the top. Develay wins the header for Kelleher. That's why I wanted the height in there rather than Stansfield at less than 6 foot. Just felt for a game like this, they were going to be quite direct. They were going to play up to a target man. We probably needed to try and keep things a little bit simpler at the back. As Develay finds Stansfield, carries it over halfway to Clousdale and Bellingham. Great ball through for Devine. He's got support if he needs it, but he doesn't. It is the perfect start away in Bosnia. A really good finish from Devine. Wonderful ball from Bellingham. And that all came from winning the header at the back when they tried to play direct. That might not have happened if we played Stansfield in there. So really glad we went for the big man. And here we are again on the left-hand side. Nearly 20 on the clock now as Hodgkinson plays a 1-2 with Kelleher. Clousdale's header hits the woodwork. It's cleared as far as Stansfield, but really promising signs in this display. The Ukraine one, we struggled a bit. We had some moments, but we were often getting caught out on the counter. Here we look a lot more consistent and persistent with our pressure, but can we be ruthless in front of goal? As Bellingham, 30 yards out, just plays the simple ball back to Parsons. Not actually being that overwhelmed with his performances for England here. As Saka, was he offside? Doesn't matter. Tezgel tries to put it in with an audacious flick. The defender does really well in the end. I think it was Ahmed Ozic again. It's Saka with the corner though, towards the back post. Tezgel can't get there. I did notice that in the last game as well. Without Saka in, we always seem to hit that back post for corners, whereas Saka doesn't quite manage it. It just peters out, and I wonder if we're going to regret not scoring here. Not been utterly dominant in terms of shots, but we've kept the ball well. We've had greater than one expected goal. We've not been able to take those chances too much. Tezgel's not got the best rating up front, and Bosnia are now coming back into this. They're trying to play out from the back, which is benefiting us. Maybe they've changed their tack now. That direct ball isn't working. Maric comes down the right. It would be a bad time to concede. We're not going to with good defending like that from Parsons. Hodgkinson over the top to Tezgel. In one-on-one. He's missed another. And this is the problem. In an England shirt, Chris Lewis seems to be knocking on the door. But can I pick someone who's playing poorly at club level? For all of our dominance, for all of the attacking highlights we've we've only actually had one shot on target, which is a bit of a worry. Despite that, we've got 1.5 expected goals, and Tezgel is having an absolute stinker, so he will be the first man to come off here. He's going to be replaced by... It's going to have to be Chris Lewis, and at right back, Stansfield on a booking will come off too. The experienced Tino Livramento on for him. I know we like to bring on our experienced players, bring on our younger players, but this is a game where we need experience. We need to get the job done. This game is far from over. As Parsons out to Saka, chips up to Lewis, flicks down for Devine. Really good finish again. He's been the star man today. Lewis bringing others into play, something Tezgel wasn't doing as well. And that is a wonderful finish. I'm starting to edge towards a Euros decision here, and it might be my former Palace man, Chris Lewis, up front, as Kelleher gets the ball to Parsons on halfway. Can we now really put the hammer down and get this goal comfortably? Will it be enough to get the English media back on side? Will it be enough with top spot as Lewis puts one wide as well to get everyone happy and excited for the Euros? 20 minutes to go. Bellingham will have to be next. He is going to be replaced by... Who can we go for? It's only really Ocon and Smith, isn't it? I'm going to bring Adrian Smith on. I'm going to drop Devine a little bit. Kelleher will also come off for Duffy, who hasn't featured yet in this break. I think bar the 2 backup keepers, everyone has now. Deverlay will be the final sub. Young Tally on for him. I'm starting to feel like the game's won with 20 to go. Now we've got a problem though, and it is the one issue I have with this guy. He looks a brilliant player on paper. He's arguably better than Hodgkinson for that deep line playmaker role. But he's not as physical, and he keeps picking up injuries. He's going to have to come off here. We don't have any subs left, do we? So he's just going to have to go off. We're going to finish the game with 10. 5 minutes of stoppage time played. A very comfortable finish to the group. And what could have been a banana skin, what could have been an onslaught by the English media, should now be a case of job done. Let's go and confirm how that group has finished. And of course, we've got to prepare for the Euros. Well, there you go. Just to give it a little bit of perspective, Adrian Smith, it's his 3rd injury on international duty, and we've only had, 7 or 8 breaks since we've been here. We are through, we have qualified for the European Championships. When is the draw for that group stage? It is scheduled on the 10th of April. That's a little bit close to the competition, isn't it? We're looking to regain the crown. We won it twice in a row. Belgium nicked it off us. We are here to bring it back to England. Let's hope we can do it. We are going to do something a little different next summer, though. Of course, if we get job offers in the meantime, this could all be ruined. But as I mentioned in the last episode a little bit, my plan for next summer is to make it as realistic as possible. Now, the big thing is the squad announcement. Why have you picked players? Picking players that are out of form, picking players who might be injury prone, going for more versatile ones over specialists, all that sort of stuff. You know how it goes if you've lived in England. We are going to go and do a proper squad announcement. Run through the squad and why I've picked them. Look at the players who might have missed out. If it's got a provisional squad before, we'll talk about which are likely to miss out. All of those things. So you can get a real understanding of why I've built the squad I have. And we'll see if it's one you agree with or not. Because you will see the people who have chosen others over. So hopefully you're looking forward to that. We will then, of course, show the Euros. And that, quite frankly, is going to be the test of whether this is a success or not. We've lost in the Nations League final against a European side. We struggled in the semis against another, and they last lost a World Cup final against a European side. It doesn't bode particularly well for England, does it? We'll come back next time to see how we get on, but if you enjoyed this one, as we did get the job done with a 2-0 win in Bosnia, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me know in the comments whether you think any of those players should definitely miss out on the England squad next summer, or do I just wait and see who's in form? And do I go for the experienced ones? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. If you want to stay up to date and see the squad announcement and the group we've been dealt next time, then please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. You'll get daily FM23 content from 2 long-term stories, in addition to all the other stuff on the channel. You can find links in the eye above to the Twitch channel, the football podcast, and the new sponsor HelloFresh UK. They're back for spring. Give them a try if you haven't already. It does help support the channel, and I've tried it many a time and really enjoyed it. Both the link and the checkout code are in the description if you want to try that. But thank you very much for watching as always. Your support is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you back here next time as we build up to Euro 2036.